Welcome to Shell Point Today for Tuesday, October 6th. I'm Rich Nation.
And I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi. On today's show, we'll learn more about the Pavilion Auxiliaries Bakeless Bake Sale and what the future holds for them in their 3-year plan. Dotty Morrison will visit with a resident photographer, Pete Martin, in the photo studio to learn about his artistic technique. And Salon and Spa manager Robyn will go over their new brochure just released this week.
But first, don't forget about tomorrow's presentation on Medicare open enrollment. If you have Medicare or Medicare Advantage insurance plans, you'll have the opportunity to meet healthcare billing manager Joni Reagan and her team as they discuss all of the insurance options, updates, and changes available that you'll want to be aware of during this open enrollment period. Head over to the Social Center on the island at 1:15 p.m. tomorrow for this important presentation. The Pavilion Auxiliaries Bakeless Bake Sale, I don't know why that always makes me hungry, is fully underway, and Terry Colath visited recently with fundraising chairman and pavilion treasurer Carl Meier to find out more about how the annual fundraiser benefits pavilion residents.
Hello everyone, I'm here today with Carl Meier of Oakmont. It is the middle of the Pavilion Auxiliary Bakeless Bake Sale annual fundraiser, and we thought it would be nice to talk with our auxiliary treasurer. Thanks for joining me, Carl.
Oh, pleasure to be here.
Now, the treasurer focuses on the money, and how wonderful that you are the chairman of our Bakeless Bake Sale annual fundraiser.
Well, I thought folks might like to know that we collect about $30,000, and over 95% of that is really spent on for the benefit of the residents of the pavilion.
And that is kind of dramatic when you look at fundraising.
Well, really kind of neat when you see some of the things that we've done, such as buy some chairs for people who really can't sit. They're distorted and painful. The television, which permits people to have some input into what's going on in the world, and we all enjoy a movie.
Sure.
The newest addition, which you know about, is the iPads, which really is exciting because now you can take it to the bedside and do Skyping without having to take a computer.
Right, it's light.
Yeah, so, and that's kind of exciting. And all of it's for the benefit of the residents. And I think as you walk around, you can see that they're basically involved and in a part of their life where it's difficult to be involved.
Sure. And traditionally, this fundraiser has been 1 year at a time, and one of the important aspects of that money that we raise is to support the work of our 16 committees also.
Right.
But this year we're doing something a little bit different. It's been quite a while since that building was renovated, quite a while since the new building was started, and we thought, wow, maybe we can do some sprucing up, right?
That's correct. We thought it'd be fun to have a project that went on for more than 1 year.
Right.
And the project was to renovate or improve the appearance of the nursing stations, or that I call nursing stations, but it's a place where the residents gather to meet one another and socialize, as well as meet with their relatives and the staff. And it should be a cheerful place that makes them comfortable and at the same time feel at home.
Sure, when your home is a room that you share with another person, these common areas are more like family rooms of our home and get-together spaces.
So it's an exciting project. It obviously can't be done in a year, and we're going to start on the first floor and then try to go to the other floors. And I think it's going to be not only great for the residents, but the residents of Shell Point to come and visit and see that the transition from where we are today is not going to be that great when we go and need additional help.
That's such an important point, Carl, because there's a standard of how things look, the beauty here in our community. It's unbelievable.
And I look at it for all the folks who are going to donate some funds, that in a sense you're donating for your own future.
Well, you, like everybody on our board, gives a commitment of something like treasurer, something like secretary, but a lifetime of experience in caring for people.
It's been fun, really. And,
well, we're delighted to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Terry Colath with Carl Meier's treasurer of the Pavilion Auxiliary saying, please help support us.
In a new TV segment entitled Gallery Glimpses, Dotty Morrison visits with photographer Pete Martin to learn about his passion for artistic photography and to view the works he currently has on display in the photo gallery.
Hi, I'm Dotty Morrison, and I'm in the tunnel. I'm near the pottery studio and the stamp room, but I want you to come with me down the hall to the photo studio and gallery. Let's go. It's right down this long hallway, past the computer lab and the stained glass room. And here's the photo studio and gallery. Hi, Pete.
Hello.
Hey, have a seat. We want to start today with a new segment called Gallery Glimpses. Many of you probably know that we have a photo studio where we've been doing portraits. Right now we're doing Christmas portraits. But you may not know that here in this gallery, we have a space where both Shell Point residents and outside artists can display their work. And I'm here today with our first artist of the season, Pete Martin. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Pete, tell me a little bit about what got you into photography and how long you've been doing photography.
Well, of course, I started out as a child with a Kodak Brownie camera.
Sure.
But then I worked my way up to a digital camera. And when I retired to Florida here, I became more of a serious photographer by joining a photo club and also taking classes in Photoshop.
Where was that?
That was up in Punta Gorda, Florida.
Okay.
And that allowed me to manipulate pictures and be more creative with the photographs.
Okay. And were you able to show some of your photographs with that club?
Yes, we were displaying them in public places like the Justice Center, the Cultural Center, and the Chamber of Commerce.
How exciting.
Yeah.
So when you and your wife moved here 2 years ago, you immediately became involved in our photo club here.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. And we have a show now, and this show is going to last for 6 weeks. It'll be here through the end of October. Pete is just the first in a series of artists that will be displaying this year. So we want to give you just a little glimpse of his work. We can't possibly cover everything in here today, and we want you to come down here on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 10 and 12 and see for yourself. So Pete, as I was enjoying your work when I was looking at this, one of the ones I noticed first was this little girl up here that is a weaver. Would you tell me something about her? I love the color, the blues and the tapestry colors stand out so much against the white. And the look on her face is just so precious. Where and when did you take that photo?
Well, my wife and I made a trip to Egypt, and this was outside of Cairo in a silk rug factory. And of course, they had younger people doing all the weaving. And this girl just happened to turn around at the right time, and I got her picture.
Oh, how sweet.
Right. But normally they're working on the weaving, and they don't look at the people.
Sure. Well, it's just precious. Another one that just grabbed my attention is this one with your wife holding a wine glass and there's a reflection. Honestly, when I looked at that picture, I thought, I wish I could have that creative instinct to catch that picture. How do you do that?
Well, this is a little known thing. A lot of people know about it, but if you have water in a glass and you hold it up, it'll magnify anything that's in the background, flowers or anything, and it'll show up in the glass. But you have to have water in the glass.
And it reverses it, turns it upside down. I didn't know that.
It acts like a lens. This picture was taken in Charlotte Harbor at a sunset, and that was the most dramatic type of environment to use at that time.
Wow. Something like that just inspires me to go try something new. I've never done that.
Right.
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Another one that I really like is called Pumpkin and Leaf, and I like it because it looks like it's suspended in midair. How do you do a picture like that?
Well, this one was the pumpkin and the leaf were placed on a mirror.
Okay.
And then I stood up on a ladder and took the picture.
Oh.
and so that's how it ended up this way.
Oh my goodness. That's just amazing. I also notice as I look around the room, there are a lot you've manipulated with Photoshop to take a photo that might just be a plain ordinary photo and make a creative artistic piece.
Right.
And you must enjoy doing that.
Oh yeah, that's the good thing about digital Photoshop computer programs, because you can do this type of thing which you normally couldn't do in a darkroom years ago.
Sure, yeah. Okay, well, I really appreciate the work it's taken for you to share this with us. And I hope that all of you will come down Tuesdays and Thursdays between 10 and 2. Someone will be here from the photo club and have the door open. And you can just stand here as long as you want and enjoy Pete's photography.
And now, Robyn Church wants to go over some of the changes to the menu of services offered in the new Salon and Spa brochure. Here's Robyn.
Hi, my name is Robyn, and I'm the manager here at the Shell Point Salon and Spa. And on October 7th, you will have received your new Salon and Spa brochure. There's been a couple of changes that I just wanted to share with you. If you open it up, is all of the hair care services. And then if you open it up again, you'll find all of the spa services, including nails, waxing, massage, skincare, and a body treatment. Over here in massage is now separated between Swedish, which is also a therapeutic massage, deep tissue, which is just a little firmer pressure, or sometimes a lot firmer pressure depending on the customer, and then reflexology and our facelifting massage. So there's a few additions and descriptions there, and each description tells you a little bit about what that massage would be like. Then over here under facials lists our new facial menu and a description of each. We've now added chemical peels. These are by GM Howland. They do not leave your skin red and blistered or anything like that. They are more gentle, but they're very effective. And these are great also in a series. And this is our new body scrub and polish. And this is a great treatment to remove that excess skin from your body and replace it with some good moisture and hydration. Over time, that excess skin can just kind of build up, and the body scrub will help get rid of that. And we have several different scents to choose from. It's really a wonderful treatment. It's also a great add-on for a massage. You could do a half-hour body scrub and incorporate that with a half-hour or 1-hour massage, which really leaves your body feeling very, very pampered. Very nice. So I hope you enjoy our new menu of services, and thank you very much. And we look forward to seeing you in one of our great salons and the spa. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
And now it's time to check out today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hello and welcome to the Happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Caitlin Van Scoy and I'm here with Dora Robbins, and we're going to give you all of Tuesday's activities. We start at 7:15 with a Health Connections class, Bend, Breathe, and Balance. That'll be in the Health Club on the island. At 8 o'clock we have pickleball at the pickleball courts behind the Resident Activity Center. Also at 8 o'clock we have the Round Robin Doubles Tennis. That'll be at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. The stamp ministry will be down in the stamp room down in the Island Tunnel at 8:15. And at 8:30, bocce will be played at the bocce courts at the Woodlands. Ladies Golf Association will be meeting at the Shell Point Golf Club at 8:30. And at 9:15, the Caregiver Support Group Therapy will be in the conference room of the Medical Center. You do need to sign up for that. The Memory Care Group will be in the conference room of Behavioral Health at 9:15. Also need to sign up for that. And open painting is available down in the art studio at 9:15. Our last 9:15 activity is shuffleboard. That's available at the shuffleboard courts. We move to 9:30 for match play mixed doubles tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. And at 10 o'clock, we have a trip going out to Hog Body's Bar and Grill that'll leave from the island at 10 o'clock, the Woodlands 10:10, and the Eagles Preserve and Estuary 10:20. You do need to sign up for that trip. The Suzy Q heads out at 10 o'clock to Woody's Waterfront Restaurant. You do need to sign up for that. And Through the Bible Study Group will be meeting at 10:15 in the Osprey Room. The Caregiver Support Group Therapy is at 10:30. That'll be at the conference room of the Medical Center. That'll be sign-up required. At 10:30, we have the Memory Care Group meeting in the conference room of Behavioral Health. That'll be sign-up as well. Our last morning activity is at 11:45. It's Life Quest Living Healthy. That'll be in the Osprey Room on the island. Here's Dora to tell you all about our afternoon.
Our first afternoon activity will be 12:30, the Mixed Progressive Bridge at the game room at the Woodlands. At 12:45, fitness room orientation, sign up is required. At 1:15, we have the Knitters group in the Osprey Room. At 1:15, we have the Rollicking Recorderist at the Tarpon Room. At 1:15, Balance and Stability at the Social Center. The Women's Ministries prayer is at 1:15 in the Hospitality Room. Stamp Ministry at 1:30 in the Sable Room. Then we have Balance and Mobility Training at 2:45. That's at the Health Club on the island. And our last activity for the day is hymn singing. It's at 6:45 at the Activity Center on the island. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Tuesday. At 10 o'clock, the Story of China Part 2 will take place in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands, and you can sign up right at the door. At 10 o'clock, Learn to Sail will start in the Buttonwood Room of the Woodlands, the only day we're going to be inside. And at 10:15, iPhone, What Do I Need to Know About iCloud, will be in the Manatee Room on the island. At 1:15, Organize Your Files and Start Shredding begins in the Technology Teaching Center on the island for those who have signed up. It's Tuesday, so I'd like to take a moment to talk about the Pavilion Auxiliary. I refer you to the back page of your weekly reminder because that's how you get information for taking the required orientation. Once you've taken the orientation, or for those of you who have already taken your orientation, we always have many opportunities because we never run out of ways we can help our friends and neighbors who live in our Larson Pavilion. Please give me a call. I'd love to share some of the opportunities with you.
Menus for Tuesday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is meatloaf with mashed potatoes and peas and carrots. The soup of the day is baked potato. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a hot roast beef and cheddar with a side salad for $7.75. The dinner special is smoked sausage with tomatoes over pasta and fresh spinach for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are New York strip for $19.95 or pan sautéed triple tail for $16.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey, and with me is a special friend, Paul Howland. Paul spends a lot of time serving God in France. We were both there in pastoral work for a number of years and are long-term friends. Paul has come in his car, which as you can see is not like every other car around here. And so I want to ask you a few questions about how you came by this car, Paul.
Thank you. Yes, well, this car is loaded with family history. My great-grandfather bought it in 1932, and I enjoy driving it now because I felt I should restore it.
Where did you start when you were restoring it?
Well, the best place is to start with the brakes, and that's what I did. So I would stop getting some of these bent fenders that my uncle put in and various members of the family, and it reminds me that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and so you need to repent first, and that's what I did with my car.
Okay. Of course, the heart of a car is the engine.
That was my second step, was to replace the heart because the old 6-cylinder engine was tired. I drove it for a number of years. I've had it now for 40 years, and I finally replaced it with a V8 engine.
So when you're in France, it's parked somewhere? And
yes, I keep it in Phoenix, Arizona.
You drove it from Phoenix?
That's right, yeah, over 4,000 miles.
And what is the make of the car and the age?
It's a Dodge, 1932.
And I see you have a text on the side there. Why do you do that?
Well, and thinking about my trip across the country, I thought I ought to talk about my favorite person, Jesus Christ, and so I put that on. Originally, I was going to put a sign on there, across America with Faith. It takes a lot of faith to drive an old car, but my wife's name was Faith, and 3 years ago she went to be with the Lord. So now it's me and Christ, and it's really been a popular theme as I've gone across America. I've enjoyed meeting a lot of people that stopped me and asked about it.
You go to a gas station, when do you fill up?
It only has 10 gallons of gasoline, so I have to fill up every 150 miles, and that gives me another opportunity to meet people.
Oh, they come around and talk about the car?
That's right. The objective of my trip actually was to visit churches and encourage them to do what we do overseas as missionaries, lead people to Christ, and that's my passion in life. Well, I didn't expect such popularity of the car, but that's a bonus that I really have enjoyed this summer.
I read in the scriptures this morning, do the work of an evangelist. This is written by Paul to Timothy. And I think you exemplify that to me, because wherever you go, you find people who are interested in wanting to talk about these things.
That's right, and that's my passion in life. I love to talk about Jesus, who did so much for me. And that's one thing I say about the cars. We all get bent fenders, dents in our fenders as we go through life, but because I care and appreciate about this car that was bought by my great-grandfather, I fixed the fenders, got it back on the road, and as I drive, I smile many times thinking about my youth, being 5 years old in the back, the grandparents driving, and I think about Jesus driving my life at the steering wheel, smiling, saying, he had bent fenders, but I straightened them and fixed them up.
Good. That's wonderful. What kind of an engine do you have in here now? Because this was a straight 6.
Right, it was a straight 6, and it had things like Babbitt bearings, which are difficult to repair. You have to pour them. Now it's a V8 from 1971 from the Ford Mustang series. I figured that would be a good option so I could find parts.
So it's really a Ford Mustang.
Right, don't tell anybody. But that's sort of like being born again. We're born into this world with the sin nature, and then when we're born again, God gives us a new heart and love for Him and passion for life, and we're trucking down the road.
That's great.
The car is all original except for the motor train, and that I didn't cut anything to do it. I just made my own motor mounts and stuck it in there. I have a 1/2 inch between the steering column on this side and a 1/2 inch between the fan on that side and the frame of the car, and it just barely fits. Original radiator that's still there, never had a leak. Honeycomb, so large that even with the V8 engine in it, never boils. There's some details on the car are very interesting. The Dodge brothers were very proud of what they designed. One of the first cars with a thin nose and the headlights on the bumpers. Became the bestseller in the United States above Ford and everybody else in 1932. They also have their name there, Dodge Brothers. The two of them designed it together, and the Star of David because they were Jewish and very proud of their heritage as well. It's one of the first cars with hydraulic brakes all the way around instead of push rods and cables. It has leaf suspension, which is also excellent. Rack and pinions on the front, so it looks like a truck but drives like a Cadillac. It's the most comfortable car I've ever driven. That's the honest truth. In all my life, and I'm not 16 years old, this is really easy to drive, really fantastic. Spring bumpers, 1932. Be jealous, those that have plastic front ends that explode when you get hit. These are little foot vents, no electric fans wasting energy. They pop up and scoop in the air on your feet, nice and cool, fantastic. Running lights that run all the time, not a 1932 radio, but there's GPS in it and so forth. I did start it when I first had it because I've had it for 40 years, take off this little cap and put the crank in and crank the motor, but that's dangerous for the arm. People ask me, do you have air? I said, I sure do, I have more than you do. Blows my hair all over the place. I had the choice of colors because this car had been painted by many people in my family, even with a brush, and so I took it down to the original body. And I chose the color red because it reminds me of the blood of Christ as I'm driving along, covers us of all our sins and transforms our life. I've had a lot of comments about the sign. This also, I have a cross to remind us Jesus died on the cross, and a small picture with Jesus as a shadow, risen, and the cross empty, and a man kneeling down. So I have the gospel message on my little sign. It's interesting also that I find people are telling me I saw your car on Facebook, and when you drove by, I followed you into the restaurant parking lot. I'd like to talk to you. Who are you? What are you doing? And that's fantastic. I've been invited by several pastors to come up to their churches in Kansas and different places where I wasn't going, but they saw the car and they liked the idea of getting the name of Jesus in the public space, as we say.
We were talking last night about a taxi ride you had recently, which kind of illustrated to me the sort of person you are. Tell us about the Iranian.
Oh, that was fun. Actually, I was going up to Edmonton, Alberta. I do not have a heater in this car, so I took an airplane that time. It was last winter. And there was a big snowstorm, so I had to take a taxi to the airport. It was in Boise, Idaho. And I saw that there were prayer beads hanging from his mirror. And so I came to the front door of the taxi and said, "Can I get in?" And he said, in the front seat, he said, "Well, if you would like to." So I got in with him and I said, "I see you believe in God." He said, "Well, yes, I'm a Muslim." I said, "I know that. I can see that with those beads and your beard." And I said, "But you believe," we got to a red light, and I said, "But you believe there's one God, don't you?" And he said, "Well, yes, of course." And I said, "Well, so do I. Let's shake on that." And he was surprised. And as we went to the airport, it was only 15 or 20 minutes possibly, I began to talk about the great prophets that they recognize, and the greatest of all, Jesus Christ. Which of them is alive today? Jesus. Which of them raised the dead? Jesus. Which of them gave to the poor? Jesus. And by the time we got to the airport, I sensed he was really interested in Jesus. I said, "Hakeem, would you like me to pray for you to Jesus?" And he said, "I'd like that." And so I put my arm around him and prayed for him. God really touched his heart. I went out to the airport. The snowstorm canceled our flight, so I quickly pulled out my cell phone and called Hakeem and said, "Hakeem, I'm stuck at the airport. Can you come back and pick me up and take me home?" When he got there, the door opened, the front door opened, and he said, "That's God." He said, "You know, I've been here in America, I think it was 4 or 5 years, and nobody has talked to me about Jesus. No, I've not talked to a Christian. I think they're afraid of me. I think they think I'm a terrorist or something." And he said, "Thank you so much for telling me about Jesus."
Sad, yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Paul, thanks so much for coming to visit us, and we really appreciate your time. Trust you'll have a safe journey to your next church, and God bless you on the way. Thank you for taking time for us. And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for today's program. Return tomorrow when we'll meet resident Frank Gercher. He'll show us his wall of degrees and give us a preview of a holiday light show he has in store for residents coming up later this month. And Randy Woods and Caitlin Van Scoy will preview the upcoming Kaleidoscope concert. This has been Shell Point Today for Tuesday, October 6th. I'm Rich Nation.
And I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi. On behalf of the entire staff at Shell Point Television, we hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.